Good evening. Welcome to A Child's Point of View. My name is Minister Margaret Guy, and I'd like to introduce my co-host for tonight, Jayla. Jayla's going to be opening us up with prayer tonight. So, Jayla, you want to start? Can everyone bow their heads?
God, we thank you for waking all of us up this morning. We thank you for everything that you blessed us with. We ask you to bless the family, Rashawn's family, because he got shot. And we just ask you to comfort him and his family, and we ask you to heal him. We ask you to heal everybody that is sick and that is hurt. We ask you to tell everybody to stop the violence, and we just thank you for blessing us with the clothes, shoes, and drinks that we have. We ask you to keep on blessing us. Amen.
Amen. Okay, now we have a treat tonight. We have two young ladies that's in the prayer chain. We have two young ladies that's in Stop the Violence Prayer Chain Foundation, and they want to open up with song for us tonight. We have Shanae and Shanasia. Okay, take it away. Okay.
When Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. I'm not worried about a thing, 'cause I know you are guiding me. Where you lead me, Lord, I will go. Have no fear, 'cause I know who's in control. There's no limit to what you can do, 'cause it all belongs to you. Yes, it all belongs to you. And I want you to know you're almighty and all powerful, and it all belongs to you. Yes, it all belongs to you. When Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. I'm not worried about a thing, 'cause I know you are guiding me. Where you lead me, Lord, I will go. Have no fear, 'cause I know who's in control. There's no limit to what you can do, 'cause it all belongs to you. Yes, it all belongs to you. And I want you to know you're almighty and all powerful, and it all belongs to you. Yes, it all belongs to you. When Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Wait, we have to bow. Wow. we will pray for the boy who got shot and his mother and his family.
Thank you. Good job, ladies. Okay. Now we would like to introduce our guests. Thank you, ladies. Awesome job. Awesome. We'd like to introduce our guests now. We have, tonight we have an amazing person that hasn't too long come to Delaware, and I think he's doing an amazing job. Good spirit, nice to be around. Chief Tracy, he's from the Wilmington Police Department, and he's the new chief of police. And I've had the pleasure of being in his company quite a few times. And Chief Tracy, welcome. And next we have our school teacher. She's come on, and our new school teacher has come in, and we have Mrs. Lee.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we have our another guest we have tonight, Mr. Xavier. Okay, welcome. And now we're going to take it over to our children. Oh my God.
Hello, my name is John Shank and I am in 6th grade, and welcome to Happy News.
Good evening, my name is Adriana Hutton. I just graduated 5th grade, so I'm going into 6th.
Hello, my name is Rashawn. and I graduated 5th grade, and I'm going to the 6th also.
Some happy news tonight is my little brother graduated from the high chair to the table.
Also, some happy news is today is my birthday and also the first day of summer break.
Chief Tracy, how do you track down the people who commit crimes?
First, we work with the community because the community works with us to let us know who's committing those crimes. And when we work together, we can actually bring them to justice or get them help that they need to set them on the right path. So it's working in conjunction in the community is business leaders, faith-based clergy, elected officials, business leaders, educators, civic organizations, and the police are part of the community. So when we work together and people do things wrong, we'll actually be able to identify who they are and then actually bring them to justice and or get them the help that they need if they're committing crimes because something else is happening in their life. Because we want to see everybody on the right path. We're not just about arresting people, we're about making sure that we can help people at the same time. So that's how we identify the individuals. We're all working together to get them help and sometimes arrest them.
Mr. Xavier, what is your biggest responsibility?
Well, I run restaurants, and my biggest responsibility is keeping everyone happy, making sure that everyone works as a team, and to make sure that our guests are happy and that we're supporting our community. And so it's always kind of a juggling act. As you know, there's lots of things that go on in people's lives. And we serve a lot of people every day, and there's a lot of people on our team. Every single person's as important as the next person when you come into my organization. If one person doesn't show up, we all feel it. So that's the part, is being able to recruit people, get them educated about what we do, and then keep them moving forward to be successful, to serve our guests.
Miss Weldon, what grade do you teach and what is your favorite subject to teach and why?
Oh, that's hard. Okay, well, the easy ones, I teach 9th grade civics and economics, and then I teach 11th grade social studies, so U.S. history and advanced placement U.S. history. My favorite thing to teach, I don't actually have a favorite thing, I will say. I love teaching my students to get excited about our society, about our government, about our history. So I bring that into every course I teach. So anytime that I can inspire future learners, okay, and get them to be passionate about where we've come from and where we're going to, makes me happy.
Chief Tracy, can you describe one of your typical work days?
Oh, yes. You know what the nice thing about my job? No day is ever the same. Other than me waking up, trying to go to the gym in the morning to make sure I try to stay in shape, to make sure all the stress in the day doesn't bring me down. But each day is almost a blessing to me because I never know what it brings. And every day I look for positive and what we can do and how we can improve things. And coming to this city, there's so much optimism about where we can be in the future. It just resonates in me, and I'm so glad to be part of this city. I've only been here 6 weeks, but the community has been unbelievable in accepting me and what we're going to do and what great things we're going to do with the community. And the community is the young community that's here. And I actually look forward to it, and I've been humbled by the acceptance and how people have received me.
I have a question for Mr. Xavier. When people don't like your food, what do you do about it?
Oh, well, we have a discussion. And we make mistakes. So our first job is really to satisfy you as our guest. So we immediately want to find out why you didn't enjoy what we served you. Did we make it wrong? Did we mishear you? Or do you just not like it? And then to find out, through communicating with you, what can we bring you that would satisfy you? And then we get our team in motion to say, here's what we need to do. And then we bring it, we check on you, and we just try to make sure that you're happy all the way through. Because I think a lot of times everyone's going to make mistakes. And we've made some of our best customers through some of our worst mistakes because they've kind of seen how much we care about them
Right.
and how much we care about them having a positive experience.
Great.
But we don't like it when people don't like them. But you know what? We have to hear what we have to hear.
Yes.
Great question.
Mr. Xavier, where is your restaurant and what is the name of your restaurant?
Well, we have a group of restaurants. Two of them are named Harry's. One is Harry's Savoy Grill, which is more of a steakhouse. One is Harry's Seafood Grill, which is on the riverfront here in Wilmington. And then Kid Shalene's. And Kid Shalene's is a neighborhood restaurant. So there's people of all ages all the time in there.
Miss Weldon, I want to be a teacher when I grow up. So what is some advice you can give to a student who wants to be a teacher?
Don't stop loving to learn. The best teachers are the ones that still want to learn, that still want to teach. And my students teach me things every single day. So as long as you love learning and you love helping, you're going to be a great teacher.
Chief Tracy, how many cases do you normally have?
I'm sorry, how many kids do I have?
Wait, how many cases have you had?
Cases.
since you-
Oh, how many cases? I became a police officer in 1984, so a continuous time. It'd be almost 34 years of being a police officer. So there's so many cases that I've dealt with. It's even hard to imagine. But what I espouse to do is try to do the best I can in every case that I'm part of. And I'm also in the hospitality business. So we do make mistakes in policing, but when we make the mistakes, we actually admit that we made mistakes, and then we try to repair some of the damage we've done with anybody that might have been a recipient of some of our mistakes. And that's how we end up moving forward. First admission, and then actually correcting and moving on and not making the same mistake twice. So all the cases, to answer your question, there's been numerous in more than 30 years of what I've experienced.
Mr. Xavier, are you a cook? And if so, what favorite food do you cook? What's your favorite food to cook?
Well, I started out in my career by cooking. I had some other jobs. I was a janitor somewhere. I worked construction a little bit. Then I found cooking, and I just loved it. But I haven't been cooking professionally for many years because I have a lot of people that are a lot better than I was at cooking that can do it now. But I like cooking lots of things. I like cooking what's in season. You know, so in the summer I eat lots of vegetables, tomatoes and asparagus and fruits and things that are healthier. And in the winter I like to cook pastas and you know, throw some things on the grill once in a while too. But I really like all food.
I agree.
Miss Weldon, what was the hardest challenge to becoming a teacher?
The hardest challenge, like in the process of becoming one, I guess for me it would be deciding what ages I'd want to teach. That was something, because when you go into teaching, you have to decide if you're going to be in, you know, elementary school or middle school or high school pretty early on. And so, you know, I liked all kinds of students, and I just wasn't sure where or with what students I wanted to work with. But eventually I did decide high school. I still teach a little bit in the middle school every now and then, you know, and I'm very happy with my decision. But that was probably the hardest, just figuring out where I was going.
Chief Tracy, what qualities do you possess to help you in your career?
I believe being honest, sincere. I think having those two things, and one of the things that I was given great advice when I was a young police officer before I came on to the police force. My father was a police officer for 33 years, and the best advice that he gave me was to treat everyone as you would want your family member treated. And that has served me well, because everybody deserves respect, and that's what I always espouse, to give people respect, no matter what has happened in their lives. Always remember that, and that'll serve you well and come back tenfold, treating people with respect and as they would be a family member, especially in my profession.
I have a question. Chief Tracy, I remember a program where it used to be that the children could be fingerprinted. Do they still run those type of programs? Like if they're young, in case they get lost, or you know, you understand
Yes,
what I'm saying?
yes.
Do they still have programs like that, or go into different organizations or schools and get the parents' permission to get
Right.
the children fingerprinted?
Actually, I actually use one. I have 5 children.
Okay.
So in their nursery schools, in their schools, I actually participated many years ago, more than 10 years ago. I actually printed all the children in the nursery schools so they can have ID. God forbid, we're
Right.
searching for them and we have to make sure that we have a match.
Right.
I'm not sure if we're doing that now because technology has taken over from paper printing
Right.
now to actually electronic printing. But it's something I can look into, and hopefully if I can table this, I will get back to you. Ms.
Okay.
Guy.
When you're saying electronic printing, I mean, can that, what do they do? Just take like a,
In this day and age, instead of printing on hard cards where you get the ink and then you got to wipe the
Right,
ink off and
right.
it gets on your hands, you actually put it on a scanner.
okay,
And that scans it right into a database.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if a database is, it's a great question.
Yes.
Because I know this is something I participated in, but I haven't heard, actually the last police department that I was involved with, and actually it's something I'm still looking in our police department, the many things we do with the community where we can be of help.
right.
And I will take a look at that. It's a great question.
Because I would be interested in doing something like that for the children to, you know,
And it actually gets the children to get to know the officer.
Exactly.
Because the proximity of speaking with them, because it takes a few minutes to print, and you can actually have a one-on-one with those questions.
Right.
And the children love that.
yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Xavier, what subject in school do you think was most important to leading you to this career path?
Well, you know, I kind of ended up in this career because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I took all sorts of courses. And I guess at the end of the day, I found that I've used every course I ever took somehow in what I do. But it's always important to have really good basic math skills and language skills. I was very fortunate to have some public speaking courses, which helped me early on because in my business, you're always communicating, you know, with your staff or your guests or your communities. So I found those to be really, really important because it got me over that fear of having to stand up in front of people or asking people to, figuring out how to ask people to do things, you know, and how to work together as a team.
Miss Baldwin, what qualities do you possess that help you in your career?
A few, I would think. First off, I'm empathetic. Okay? And so that means that, you know, when my kids are having problems, when they're struggling, you know, I'm able to realize that there's things outside of U.S. history and civics and economics in my class, and I really reach out to try and help them and support them in any way that I can. I also can say that, you know, I've got very high standards for them, that they know that they have to reach and that I expect them to reach, so that helps. But also, you know, I'm good at laughing at myself and making fun of jokes myself and being okay if they think it's funny. Okay? And so I just try and use humor, empathy, okay, understanding, and high standards.
Chief Tracy, what made you want to come work in Delaware?
You know, I knew a little bit about this city, and I saw the hope. I saw you had a change in administration, a new mayor that was trying to bring change for the positive for all communities. And my calling in life was to be a police officer and see how I can improve the communities that I work with, live with. And I saw opportunity here, and when they asked me to take an interview, I said, this is the type of city I would like to be part of, and I'd like to be part of this community. So it kind of drew me in, and I was very happy that they chose me, and I couldn't be more proud to be the police chief in Wilmington, and already in a short time getting to know everyone, and continue to get to know everyone, to work with you to help improve public safety and improve community. And that's what really drew me to this city. I saw so much potential in a city that I think people care. Look at this room, look at the children that care. This is why I'm here, and an opportunity to be part of something very great.
I have a question for Chief Tracy. What is the biggest challenge you faced in the Wilmington City?
The biggest challenge is the perception that we have that our city is one of the most dangerous in America. There's so many good communities and so many good people. There's a small percentage of people that are committing some of the most violent crime. And the communities here have such good people that have such good hope and want to see this city thrive, play in the streets, be out there, and children being able to not worry about if anything's going to happen to them when they're outside in the streets. So my biggest challenge is first to make sure that we're doing everything we can together collectively, bringing the community, bringing the police together so we can all solve this issue, bring crime down. And it's going to take a lot of work, but I think that work can be done because I think everybody's on the same page. And when we get there, it's going to be a great thing.
Amen.
So are most of your cases violent cases?
No, you know, they're the ones that get the most newsworthy, so they get the most attention because newspapers, the sell papers, always put out sometimes the worst news and not always the best news. So a lot of our cases are actually great things that we're doing in the community, and I wish we can push that out more.
Mrs. Lee, you work with teenagers?
Yes, I do. High school students.
High school. Do you find that more difficult at times, or do you have a lot of problems with the
I
high
love
school
my high school students.
Okay.
I love them.
Okay.
They are exciting and they are energetic and they are passionate and they are stubborn and everything.
Yes, everything in
yes,
one.
and I don't have a lot of problems.
Great.
And really, the best way to solve a problem in a classroom is to learn their name the first time they come in that classroom and find out one thing about them and make a relationship. You don't have classroom management issues a lot when you actually have a relationship. And I think that that's probably something that everybody on the stage could say, that relationship building and trust is the key.
Yes.
So.
Mr. Xavier, where are your other restaurants? Do you happen to have them in New Jersey, like Atlantic City, places like that?
No, just here.
Just here in
They're all
Delaware?
community-based
Oh,
restaurants
okay.
here. One is in North Wilmington,
Okay.
and then one is on the riverfront, right by the Market Street Bridge and the Amtrak
Okay.
station, and the other one is in Trolley Square.
Okay.
And
Thank
it's a building that's been a restaurant since 1940. It's been Kid Chalene since 1984.
Okay. Thank you.
This question is for everyone. Do you have any questions for us?
I'll give you the first question. I'll ask the first question. What made the three of you want to get in front of the camera and do the things that you're doing? Because it takes a lot of courage to get up and do what you're doing. And I'm so impressed in your demeanor and your questions that you asked today. So I'm throwing that back at you, why you wanted to do what you're doing.
Well, last time I was on here, I got asked a similar question. How did I end up on TV? So I kind of didn't actually, I didn't sign a contract saying, do I want to be on TV? I just said yes. I was just put on. I was like, okay, let's do this. I was just like, I'm excited. It's TV. Who wouldn't want to be on TV? So that's kind of what made, I was just like, I have a lot of courage that some people don't. I was like, it was kind of like I was born with it because I'm always participating to stand up, give my opinion on things, and I was standing up in front of people, TV. It's okay, I'll do it.
I thought it would be a great learning experience because we get to find out a lot about many interesting people, and I thought that would be really cool.
Very nice.
Mine is because I wanted my voice to be heard, to ask questions, to learn more things, to have the experience also as her, and stuff like that.
Well, thank you.
Could I ask one quick?
Sure.
So, is there someone in particular in your family or in your community that you look up to? And if so, what is it about them that makes you be really impressed by them?
I'll go first. It's mostly my dad because he's always pushing me to my limits and making me exceed my limits. He can be a little rough, and he doesn't really realize that all the time. But he's doing it so I actually have a good future, a bright future. So I can be the best person I can be instead of just being. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be on TV, to be honest. He pushed me to my limits, and I looked up to him for that.
That's a really tough question. I look up to a lot of people. It's mainly because they have courage, they have leadership, but I really do look up to my papa because he fought in a war, and he works his butt off for us every day. So,
Well, the person who I look up to the most is my mom, because she's always studying for school. She's always acing her tests and doing all things like that. And she's working and trying to do good for the family and stuff like that.
Nice.
Great answer.
Jayla?
One of the most people I look up to is Miss Margaret, because she's always doing caring. She always cares about other people, and she just helps everybody out.
Great.
Okay, thank you. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with a new set of children, and we'll be right back, and we'll continue with our guests. We'll be back with our guests again, and then they're going to get questions from another set of children. Okay, we'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be a groupie, not that kind. A Harry's Hospitality groupie, where there's food for every mood. Harry's Savoy Grill, the classic for the finest aged steaks, handmade pasta, and plenty of wines by the glass. Seafood lovers unite at Harry's Seafood Grill. Shucked oysters, ceviche, sushi, and lime-caught salmon, all paired with an array of cocktails. And you can always fire up the grill at Kid Chalene's, towering char-grilled burgers with craft beers that keep flowing. Any mood, any food. Be a groupie. Be a groupie, not that kind. A Harry's Hospitality groupie, where there's food for every mood. Harry's Savoy Grill, the classic for the finest aged steaks, handmade pasta, and plenty of wines by the glass. Seafood lovers unite at Harry's Seafood Grill. Shucked oysters, ceviche, sushi, and lime-caught salmon, all paired with an array of cocktails. And you can always fire up the grill at Kid Chalene's, towering char-grilled burgers with craft beers that keep flowing. Any mood, any food. Be a groupie. Be a groupie, not that kind. A Harry's Hospitality groupie where there's food for every mood. Harry's Savoy Grill, the classic for the finest aged steaks, handmade pasta, and plenty of wines by the glass. Seafood lovers unite at Harry's Seafood Grill. Shucked oysters, ceviche, sushi, and lime-caught salmon, all paired with an array of cocktails. And you can always fire up the grill at Kid Chalene's, towering char-grilled burgers with craft beers that keep flowing. Any mood, any food. Be a groupie.
Welcome back to our second half. For those of you who may have missed the first half, we're back with our Wilmington Police Chief, Chief Tracy. We're back with our 4th District Council person, Michelle Harley. And we're back with Mr. Xavier, a restaurateur, an owner. I guess you call it a restaurateur?
Restaurateur?
Yes. Okay, I got it right. See?
There you go.
Okay. And then we have a new set of children over there that's going to be asking questions. This is my new co-host here. This is Janiyah. So we're going to go ahead and take it over to that side.
Hi, my name is Kellen Roberts, and I'm a 4th grader at Castle Hills Elementary School.
Hi, my name is Jillian. I'm in 4th grade. Well, I graduated 4th grade and I'm going to 5th, and I go to Castle Hills Elementary School.
Hi, I'm
Be a
Jessica
groupie,
DeSanto.
not that kind. A Harry's Hospitality.
Castle Hills Elementary School, going to 6th grade at McCollum Middle School. Mr. Texedo, what qualities do you possess that help you in your career?
I think that I communicate well and I work well on a team. And I think it's really important because my business is restaurants, hospitality is all about people, and it's about the guest, and communicating there. It's about our staff and it's about our community, as well as our suppliers. So everything we do is teamwork. If one person is out of step, your experience may not be as good, or our timing may be off. So I just think that probably what I try to do is get everyone on the same page, and I just try to coordinate everyone towards a common goal.
Thank you. Chief Tracy, how long did it take you to become a police chief?
Well, I was a police chief in Chicago, but I was second in charge of that city for 5 years. So it took me almost 34 years now to run my own city, which I'm the police chief for the city of Wilmington. So 34 years it took me to get to the position I'm in. But all the things that I've done in the past have prepared me for this position, and I couldn't be prouder to be serving this city and serving this community.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Harley, what qualities do you possess that help you in your career?
I believe getting results. I've been working for the DuPont Company for 35 plus years, and getting results is one of my main strengths. And getting results for a company is very important to their bottom line, because they are selling products to make money, so their employees need to get the results that are needed. And it's the same strength and quality that I use serving my community. When constituents have problems, they have issues, concerns, and interests, they need a council person that's going to get results that they're looking for. So I think getting results and loving, working, helping people, I believe that's another one of my strengths as well.
Thank you.
What's his name? Mr. Texedo, what was it like to live in New Orleans?
New Orleans was very exciting. It is a very diverse community. It has great music. It has great food, and it has great culture from people from lots of different backgrounds. But the food was a melding of African food, Spanish food, and French food. So I just loved it. It's a unique place, and And the people I thought the people were very, very nice there. But I liked it. It was exciting, and I think it was probably about the best food city in the United States.
Thank you. Chief Tracy, what quote describes your life?
What quote
Describes your life.
defines my life? I talked about this earlier. I don't have an exact quote off the top of my head. That would be too rehearsed. But I think treat everybody with respect. And in turn, you will be treated with respect back. And that's the opening of communication. And you start out from that point, everything else in life will go well.
Thank you.
Mr. Xavier, what nights do kids eat free at your restaurant?
Oh, you've been doing your research. Monday night, we have Jungle John comes in and he does fantastic balloon creatures. Have you been there on a Monday night? Yep. And then we do kids eat free from our menu, and it's very popular.
Wow.
And we'd love to see you there. I'll say
Great.
that.
What times does it start on Monday? And what time?
We start at 5 o'clock, and that's at Kid Shalene's in Trolley Square.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Councilwoman Harley, how much work does it take to be a councilwoman?
It takes quite a bit of work, I would say, if you're doing it the right way. It is a part-time job. However, I think that there are opportunities for you to work until you make a decision that you just gotta step away from it until the next day. But it definitely requires a lot of time if you're going to do it right. And I take it very serious. My responsibilities very serious. And so I put in about 8 to 9 hours a day. And I have a full-time job, so I get started immediately once I get off from my full-time job, and I can say that it takes quite a bit of time to do it and to do it right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Teschado, how much money do you make on an average day?
Well, that's a good question. Let me put it this way: I do very well, and but I didn't always do very well. So what I say is you start with a little bit, and if you watch all your costs, and if you have plenty of people producing, doing good things, you can be successful. But like I said, I do well. Our restaurants are busy, and I have a great team of people that work for me, and that's what allows me to be financially successful.
Thank you. Chief Tracy, what is your biggest responsibility being a police chief?
My biggest responsibility is making sure that my officers are trained and they're prepared on how to go out and do their job each and every day. And I think it's almost balanced on how I address the community and my responsibility to the community to ensure that I'm doing everything I can to make sure we keep this city safe. So I balance it with my officers, because how I treat my officers and making sure they are trained in the right way to go out will be returned to the community. It starts with internal legitimacy and respect, which actually it's a force multiplier which goes back out to the community. So I think it's a balance what we do.
Thank you.
Ms. Harley, what are your upcoming goals for Wilmington?
Okay, my upcoming goals for Wilmington basically is to continue to support my constituents as it relates to workforce development. There are a number of individuals that live in the 4th District that need jobs, and they need good paying jobs. So workforce development is one of my upcoming goals that I'm working on. And I'm also working on supporting our educational system. Our educational system needs a lot of support. And there are a number of things. This 4th District is very diverse. It's one of the most diverse districts out of all 8 districts in the city of Wilmington. And each one of the communities in the 4th District, they have different needs and different concerns. and public safety, and our new chief of police, who I think is doing a great job. I am working on getting our community together to work on a strategic plan to work with them to increase the peace in our community. So increasing the peace in the community, workforce development, and supporting the educational initiatives are three of my top priorities.
Can I ask each of you to do something for me? Can each of you quickly tell the children something funny that happened to you, something short and funny that happened to you during the course of your careers? Starting with you, Chief Tracy.
No, I was hoping you'd give me some time to think about that.
Yeah.
So you guys are ahead of the game.
I want you to know that funny things do happen to adults, okay?
Funny things happen, but I think I have to bring it back to why I chose this career. And it actually was in my teenage years. My uncle was a Catholic priest who I was named after, Robert Tracy, and my father was a police officer. And I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. I either wanted to become a priest or I wanted to become a police officer. And when I became a teenager, I chose to be a police officer because there's some things that priests give up that I wasn't ready to do. And I commend them for that. And hence, I'm married and I have 5 children. So it was a choice in life that you make. And I think I could have went either way because I wanted to help people out. I don't think it's so funny, but it's actually a little older for the joke.
Yes.
Okay, so actually I had a situation today that I think that was very, very funny and very different. So I work from home and I got a knock on the door today about 1 o'clock. So I peeped out the window. It was 2 young people. When I answered the door, it was a 9-year-older and a 13-year-older. And they told me that they were looking for work to do. And they told me that all kids and young people are not out here stealing and robbing, but they are 2 young people that want to earn an honest living. I thought that was kind of interesting, but I thought it was funny and it was very cute. So I'm thinking a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old showing up at my door unexpectedly looking for work. What can I give them to do? So I found something for them to do. I said, well, you can sweep my porch. And they were very excited. They were working as a team and they had just met each other. And I just thought that was the cutest thing. I thought it was funny, very interesting. And in light of what we all are going through with the situation with the 6-year-older, it just kind of touched my heart to see those 2 working together, a 9-year-older, a 13-year-older, and they're knocking on my door looking for work to make some money. So that was cute and funny.
I was working as a cook, and it was a big kitchen, had a very, very tough chef, and we were being inspected by the big chiefs in the organization. And so he told us, there will be no mistakes. Everything's going to be perfect today. No one can make a mistake. And in my end, my job, I had to put cook all this bacon in the oven. And I put about 12 trays of bacon in the oven. And he walked through and he gave me this stare in my eyes that would like stop you cold. And I turned around and there was nothing but smoke billowing out of the ovens. I had burnt 12 trays of bacon. And we're all thinking, so he went out with the bosses, ran back in, stood about this far from my face, and I thought he was going to kill me, really. And he said, there never was a cook that didn't burn the bacon. Don't ever forget that. And I never did forget it because he basically said everyone makes mistakes, right?
Yes.
But I think about that a lot.
Councilwoman Harley, what subject in school do you think was the most important in leading you to this career?
I think English, communicating to people and being able to communicate their issues and their concerns. I would say English and communication is one of the subjects that I think that has been helpful to me as a council person.
Thank you.
Mr. Teshado, what quote describes your life?
Excuse me?
What quote describes your life?
Well, I think I'll give you two. One is because we're in hospitality, and that is you have to give to get. So it's very important when someone comes in for you to make people feel welcome, to let them know that you're there for them. A lot of people, it's really about you. They make it about you, but it's really about them. And the other one is a famous quote from John Wooden. He was a very famous basketball coach. And he said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And it's all about teamwork and about working together.
Thank you.
Chief Tracy, are you allowed to catch criminals outside of Wilmington? Why or why not?
Absolutely. Even citizens can make citizens arrests. So if I see someone that's going to harm another human being, no matter where I am, I pretty much have that instinct that I'm going to go protect somebody. Or if someone's going to commit a crime, I would first, if I'm not in the city, I would actually make sure I call 911, and then I would take action, so at least they had some backup that they know I'm a police officer that's taking action. But absolutely, because I think it's in my DNA to help protect people and help make sure that we're all safe. So I would absolutely enforce the law or actually protect people outside the city of Wilmington.
Thank you.
Ms. Harley, what is the largest challenge you faced in the city of Wilmington?
Well, I would have to say right now, public safety. Right now, there's a lot going on in our city, and people want answers. And so just keeping people encouraged to believe that it's going to get better and to be hopeful, and that they have to be advocates for our communities. I think that is one of my hardest challenges right now, allowing people to understand, or helping them to understand, that it's going to take the whole entire community working together to make a difference with the crime that is going on. Our mayor is doing a great job, our new chief of police, city council, everyone is doing their part. We just need the community to step up and to be stronger advocates for our community. So I think that's one of my challenges right now.
Great. Now, do any of you have questions for all the children? You want to?
I went first, so I'll let you guys go first.
Okay.
Do you already know what it is that you may want to do when you graduate school and you become an adult? And how is this experience help you prepare for that?
I want to become a baker because I like making desserts because I love desserts. And this has helped me because it's let me know that you guys are helping me what I can accomplish with this.
When I grow up, I want to become a singer, and this will help me that I won't be nervous when I get on stage.
Great.
When I grow up, I want to be a baseball player, and when I grow up, this will help me because when I grow up, I'll already be used to being on TV.
Awesome.
Who's your role model and inspiration in life? Each one of you, and why?
My role model would probably be my parents because they're raising me, so really almost everything I do is going to be based off kind of what they do.
Right.
The person who inspires me the people who inspire me are all the singers because they inspire me to go out and sing and try to do my best.
And Jeffrey, before you start, I got a second question for you. Who's your favorite baseball player after that, since you want to be a baseball player? So who's your role model, why, and who's your favorite baseball player?
My role models are my parents because they're always pushing me in school to do better than everybody and be my best. And I have many favorite baseball players. My top one is Derek Jeter from the New York Yankees, who retired.
I'm a Yankee fan. I like that.
Okay.
Great job.
My role model would probably be, well, first the question was, what did I want to be when I grow up? I want to be like when you go to the doctor and like after they physical check you or whatever, you go down to a person that you can talk to, like your feelings, if you're like afraid to talk to somebody close to you. I want to be one of them where they can like talk to me, give me their problems, and I'll give feedback. And my role model would probably be the first lady that I ever went to, where she helped me with the problem that I was going through then and there. I forgot her name.
Okay, so instead of me asking a question, I want to pretty much pose a charge to each one of you as young people. I learned very early on in life that serving and volunteering is very, very important. So as I see and look at each one of you, you are doing a great job and you are very poised and you're speaking very well. I just want to ask you to consider, if you're not, getting involved as a volunteer, either in your community or in school in some kind of way, because giving back, you will always be able to utilize your skills, giving back and volunteering, and you will see how no matter what you desire or aspire to be, that you will find that it will be very, very helpful. Okay?
I would always take time to help something for our school, because if I don't get it done in school, I'll take it home and get it done at my house.
I don't really know what I would do.
I've already been volunteering because this year in 5th grade, 3 days a week I've been giving up my recess to help out with kindergarten lunch. So if they ever need help, I'm down there to help them out. If they need anything, I go get them for them.
I don't really know how to answer that. Like, I don't know how to add on to that. I don't know.
It's okay. Something for you to think about as it relates to volunteering and getting involved. But thank you very much. And I think that's pretty awesome what you're doing. And I know that you'll eventually think of an area where you can get involved as well. So thank you.
Any other questions for the children?
Well, what made each one of you get into doing what you're doing now? We just talked about how poised you are, how brave you are, because a lot of people, public speaking is a very difficult thing to do. And Mr. Xavier had talked about earlier, it's probably one of the things you should get into early because it will serve you the rest of your life. It serve you well. What made you do what you're doing today? Because I'm very proud of all three of you, as I was before with the other three hosts and the two singers that were on. They did a great job. So what made you want to do this today?
Something that made me want to do this was probably because not a lot of kids get this opportunity to do this, and it's more like a privilege.
I agree.
I agree with them too.
Well, that's great, because this is difficult what you're doing right now, and you're doing a great job.
Okay. And it, what we're going to do now, we're going to thank each and every one of you for coming on. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed being with the children. I hope you enjoyed the questions. Hope you wasn't too nervous.
Big Jeffrey asked me some tough questions. He did his homework, so I want to tell you, Jeffrey, I was a little scared after your first one, but you did a great job.
I think everyone did a great
Yeah.
job.
Everyone did.
And one thing that I was very impressed was when I came in, you all made eye contact, you all extended your hand, some hospitality, a greeting, and that made me feel really comfortable walking in the room like you wanted me to be here. So thank you for that.
Okay, well, right now, I haven't really been myself tonight. I just want to send out my love, my prayers, and my condolences, and to everybody in the city of Wilmington that has lost loved ones to violence. I want to send a special prayer out to Jay Sean's family, to let them know that we're still praying for him and we love all you guys. Everybody have a blessed, safe night, and we love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be a groupie, not that kind. A Harry's Hospitality groupie, where there's food for every mood. Harry's Savoy Grill, the classic for the finest aged steaks, handmade pasta, and plenty of wines by the glass. Seafood lovers unite at Harry's Seafood Grill. Shucked oysters, ceviche, sushi, and lime-caught salmon, all paired with an array of cocktails. And you can always fire up the grill at Kid Chalene's, towering char-grilled burgers with craft beers that keep flowing. Any mood, any food. Be a groupie.